a healthy alternative to what people are already doing, and it's getting people off of drugs rather than just being another drug.
That's sick, man. Do you want to take a break and go smoke a joint again?
I like joints.
Yeah, let's do that. And we'll come back in. We're at the Green Market. No, we're not. Fuck, we're at Lifted Market. Lifted Market. Dude, tell me about, yes, so you did talk to me about how it was sourced from the snowpack. So we talked about this. We talked about this at Cannabis.
So we can get into it now.
Yeah, let's, I'm going to roll a joint.
You roll a
Daryl's
joint.
over there fucking rolling a joint. Let's talk about, tell me about your Colorado trip, and I'll tell you about my BC trip.
Colorado was crazy. Colorado was...
Get real close in on that.
Oh,
thing.
I got to get close.
You know what, you can...
Do I have to put my radio voice on?
You can turn it like this and...
Radio voice. We're in Radio Land. You know, I was a intern at Q107, and I got to answer the phones as Andy Frost, as like the overnight guy. I got to answer the phones and pretend I was like him.
I could say you'd be very good at that, dude.
Hilarious.
I could see you doing that.
Okay, cool. So Colorado was super interesting. The cannabis in Colorado was amazing. It had varying qualities. I mean, I got to visit everything from sweetgrass edibles, which they grow their own cannabis for their edibles.
That's a brand you're plugging again on my fucking podcast?
No, they're cool. You'd like them. You'd go there and fit right in. You'd dig them, bro.
I'm going to check them out on Instagram.
Okay, so
Sweetgrass.
here's what's cool about them, and it's not, they didn't pay me nothing, so it's not my brand.
Totally down.
You'll like this, it's honest. What's cool about them is they figured out unique ways to work around the stupid laws in their area. For example, there you have to put the freaking like cannabis warning symbol on all the edibles.
What's it look like there? Is it a stupid stop sign?
It's just as stupid as ours, and if not more stupid. And they laser engrave this into the cookies they sell.
No.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is it mandatory?
It is mandatory that it be labeled on every piece of food that you sell.
Ah, so you can't. Who looks at a fucking chocolate chip cookie and goes,
I'm telling you,
that little brown patch there is like a fucking warrant. Like, is it very?
It's prominent.
Is it pretty prominent,
man? On a chocolate chip cookie I was eating, it was
stupid,
85% of the cookie had a warning on it.
Dude, there is so much stupid shit. So
I'm not saying it's not stupid, but they came up with a brilliant fucking workaround. They're like, I'm not putting edible dye. I'm not putting all this shit on that cookie. I'm gonna laser engrave that shit. Yeah. I thought that was fucking smart.
The dumbest thing I've seen in the last little while was that can of bliss. Can of bliss. Like, it's a great idea because of the way that the fucking bullshit regulations are going, but it's a shame to me that that's a good idea, that you can store bud for 3 years in a nitrogen sealed jar and have a scratch and sniff.
Okay, so have you read the regulations though on the cannabis thing? Or on the packaging?
No.
So I read the regulations, and I mean, Daryl may have a better understanding of this one than I do, but like, as far as I understand it, the lid that covers the packaging where the marijuana is kept within this opaque jar must be clear. So why would the clear lid need a photo of the cannabis on it or a scratch and sniff? Because
you can kind of see inside what it looks like.
Exactly. Now the lid on top of that must be opaque, but like the inner lid, once you open it up, doesn't need a photo on that. And then beyond that, that stipulation is that sealed lid, as far as I understand it, can't have an image or photo on it. So I don't
No,
really
but they hand
understand.
out the photo, or you can like send away for it online, and they send you a fucking picture of a nug that has and it's a scratch and sniff slurry. We take a sample of the terpene profile, we remix it in our labs, we apply it to a picture of the actual bud that's in the jar.
Why can't we have a dispensary that's bring your own bag, that's actually environmentally friendly and just has weed in big fucking jars and bins where you bring your own bag and get to pick your own buds?
That's what
because that would be far too cool and far too realistic and far too actually awesome for other Canadian industry. Pause for a joint.
Yeah, we're gonna go out and burn a doobie, and we'll be back promptly. Thank you guys. So we're back from smoking a joint.
Yeah,
we were out there. Yeah, a couple of them. Honestly, the one thing that I really wanted to talk to you about was psychedelics.
Yeah, sure. I think it's the next frontier in medicine, really.
This is one of the things we talked about when we first met, was mushrooms are next. and then probably, what do you think, mescaline?
We'll see. Maybe MDMA. You know, there's some trials going on with MDMA use for depression and PTSD. You know, it is a synthetic, essentially, instead of a natural substance. So it's not my first go-to when it comes to therapeutic use. I think a lot can be done with, you know, both microdose and macrodose of mushrooms in the right setting, in the right condition, with the right, you know, guidance. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of research coming out on psilocybin and some of these other molecules that are found in psychedelics that you know, a single dose is curing people of depression for 6 months. So,
And I think that cannabis is kind of opening the doors, you know, opening people's eyes as to the benefits of plant medicine, and you know, changing stigmas, and we're gonna see people that were previously maybe anti-cannabis, and then they start using it for pain management or for any of the other kind of conditions that it's used for. And then
the reality is most of our pharmaceutical drugs come from a plant or a fungus, and they isolated a single molecule and then tried to convince us that that works better, when the reality is it's just more protectable and more, you know, it provides more intellectual property and control over the drug. So with these laws changing, people have to start to question, what else did they lie to us about? What else are they keeping from us that's in the exact same classification? You know, the coca leaf as well. Like, obviously cocaine is a processed pharmaceutical grade drug that's pretty much sold to, you know, rich people, the American public and stuff. But you go down to Peru and Colombia, and there's not a lot of cocaine use. People chew on the coca leaf and they use it for medical purposes and make tea out of it because that's what it's good for. There's valid arguments there that it's actually probably better than a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs that we have, especially as a stimulant. You know, like Adderall and some of these other drugs are basically low-grade methamphetamine. And if people need stimulants in order to do their job, there's probably ones that are found in nature that are better and healthier. Even ephedra, like, is illegal in Canada because it can be used as a precursor to make methamphetamine. But ephedra was a great, you know, a lot of bodybuilders and people like that were just using it for energy purposes, and it was actually a really good drug. It's plant-based. You know, it's called Mormon tea because it's one of the few things that the Mormons will use as a stimulant.
I have a lot of respect for salvia, and it's a very unique.
Yeah,
so it's very similar.
It's not my favorite one because it's a little unpredictable, but
I see. Here's the thing: is that I don't think that there was anything that I like learned from the trip. It wasn't like there was some journey. I think it was pharmacological. It just shut off something, and it was like,
or it connected something, probably, because I mean that's more what they show, is that these are actually connecting subconscious parts of your brain to conscious parts of your brain. So if you got stuff that's buried, you know, deep down in there, like PTSD, for instance, wired memories that keep coming back from your subconscious, it becomes easier to deal with them, or you're able to deal with them through these connections that are facilitated through psychedelic drugs.
And I was out west and I was talking with the grower about DMT, and he goes, that's exactly what he says. He goes, salvia is not my favorite. He goes, just substitute your salvia for DMT. I mean, whether or not that's good advice, you know, it remains to be seen. But there are things like ayahuasca out there. There's a lot of medicine, you know, plant-based medicine that has traditions, you know, of healing that I think that we're going to start to see the doors open up to, and super pumped about it.
Yeah, I think the changes in the laws have to make not only people question, but the pharmaceutical industry needs to question their approach. The justice system needs to question their approach. You know, the healthcare system needs to question their approach. Like, what have we really been missing by taking this route that is essentially, you know, largely in post World War II? I mean, it's phenomenal to look at human history from like the 1800s. We started getting, you know, real cool advances in medicine, and then you get electricity, and, you know, all sorts of things start to blow up with, you know, being able to measure things and find things. You know, Alexander Graham Bell, most people don't know this, but he invented the X-ray in about 6 hours when James Garfield, the president of the United States, got shot because he just happened to be in the area, and, you know, came up with this idea on how to find the bullets inside of him, and literally would have saved his life if they had moved him off of the metal bed onto the wooden floor so he could have found the bullets. But they refused to do it and didn't believe that his contraption would be able to do that, right? So it's you know, the advances in medicine up until World War II were really amazing, and we cured 50 human diseases, just eradicated them off the face of the planet. Since then, we've treated disease. You know, the pharmaceutical companies became very good at treating things. They've figured out a way to create an industry out of it, and
It's
I think
almost,
a lot of
an arrogance like that's associated with you know, being able to because we've come so far, right? And it's like looking back, we look at how we used to do things, and it seems so barbaric. But I think that in the future, we're going to look at the way that we're doing things now and be like, fuck, this is how we used to do shit.
Oh, dude, if the human race survives another, like, you know, 1,000 years, this will be the dark ages, what we look back on now, where we, you know, consumed everything, pushed chemicals on the entire population, consumed oil and burned it with no regard for the planet, you know, pumped the oceans full of plastic. It's, yeah, this will be looked back as the dark time in humanity, I think. And as we move forward, you know, we're going to go back towards things such as, you know, I see small communities that rely on agriculture and have their own medicine. You know, if we do certain things and build communities properly, there will be enough healthcare for everyone, right? And you're seeing this even in the large industrial civilizations. I mean, the reason that people want to work with China a lot more than America right now is because when China goes into a country, they build roads, they build schools, they build houses, and then they move the people in and start mining. You know what I mean? They don't just drill a hole in the earth and rape the resources out. They're actually providing infrastructure and doing it in a way that is sustainable, essentially. So, you know, I think we all need to take note of, you know, the mindset of humanity needs to shift back towards something that's a little more balanced, a little less capitalistic. And, you know, you find that with psychedelics as well, that you know, you disassociate from your ego, and money doesn't mean as much when you feel connections to the earth and nature and things like that, right? So it's you know, happiness is redefined for a lot of people through psychedelics because they no longer even want to go to their 9-to-5 job. But let's be honest, there's not going to be 9-to-5 jobs in the future. The robots, you know, are going to take most of the jobs. The really rich people like Elon Musk and all these guys are already talking about universal basic income is going to be a necessity because robots are going to take most of the jobs. So what are these people going to do? You know, hopefully we all sit around, you know, do a lot of psychedelics and explore the cosmos together.
Yeah, experiment with consciousness.
There's a lot of theories on psychedelics and how they've expanded the human consciousness to get us where we were today. You know, Bill Hicks does a great skit on it, on a monkey eating a mushroom and then, you know, starting to laugh. And
that's the stoned ape, the
yeah.
kind of stoned ape theory.
But I think there's validity to, you know, what we put in our bodies influences our evolution in general. So, you know, do we want that to be pharmaceuticals that are dulling our consciousness? And you know, you obviously when you do opiates, you feel numb, you feel dulled, and yeah, it numbs the pain, but it numbs your brain too, and it numbs your emotions. And psychedelics don't do that, right? And for me, like, you know, if I get a headache, I eat a tiny little piece of a mushroom, not get high, but also often the headache just disappears, and I don't have any sort of negative cloudiness or side effects whatsoever. Why isn't that a thing? You know, aspirin came from willow bark and we take that on a regular basis. But again, Bayer was able to isolate the molecule and modify it slightly and make it work a little better, supposedly.
For cluster headaches, LSD has been proven to be effective in treating cluster headaches. Allison, our friend Allison, uses psilocybin to treat pain that she has from her MS. And it's pretty amazing to think that, you know, she's the very first Canadian. There's no other person in Canada that actually has an authorization to possess and use psilocybin, like a doctor's recommendation.
Yeah, so based on that, we should be able to push it through with the same way we did with the cannabis laws. And we're putting a group together, a legal team, as well as, you know, a fundraising team to be able to do that hopefully within the next year. Obviously, a lot of us are very busy with the changes in the cannabis laws right now. But I think, after October, once we see things settle and businesses really start to roll, this will be not only my next endeavor, but a lot of people that are working in the space right now have expressed interest in doing this. And I think, again, legally, based on the fact that she was one of the first cannabis patients as well, we should be able to essentially piggyback on all of the cannabis laws that have been changed over the last 15 years and hopefully get medical mushrooms legal in the next, I'm hoping 18 months we'll have some sort of a real challenge mounted, solid press around it. I don't know how long it'll take to really get through with appeals and things like that. But the reality is that,
then the next step would be bringing doctors on board to recommend it, and that becomes a whole other thing. Because as much as there is a lack of research with cannabis, there's a lot more than there is with psilocybin.
Yeah, I think the first step for me would really be to decriminalize all drugs. What we've seen in civilized countries time and time again is by decriminalizing drugs, drug use goes down. And people are less afraid to talk about it, even with their healthcare professional. Switzerland did it years ago when they started to have drug problems in the parks. They decriminalized everything, and crime went to like zero. So I've seen it again. Portugal recently decriminalized, and that's what I would really hope to do first, aside from the research. Is just strike down the entire act that says you can't put something in your body. To me, it's actually amazing that something like psilocybin mushrooms is illegal, but there are thousands of mushrooms in Canada that will kill you if you eat them, and they're not illegal. Fentanyl is killing 4,000 people in Canada. Opioids killed last year. It's not illegal. So all these arguments about safety are bullshit, right? And you've got other things on the schedule that were traditional Native American drugs that nobody's going to be going and smoking datura if you make datura legal tomorrow, right?
Right.
But
I didn't even realize it was scheduled, because I just know that there are a handful of things that I'm just not interested in trying, and that's one of them.
Right, but even things like kratom, has been shown to have a lot of pharmaceutical benefits now, and there's lots of different species of kratom, and if we just get rid of the schedule, then scientists will study it. They'll start looking at it and just picking it up and studying it.
Dude, we covered a lot of ground. We talked about a lot of really sick shit. Before we wrap this up, what are your hopes for the future? Future of cannabis legalization, the future of, psychedelics. What are your hopes for the future?
Well, again, when it comes to cannabis, I'm always saying I think we've won some battles. We haven't won the war. For me, freeing the plant means the plant gets to be grown outside by anyone, anytime, without a license. If you want to sell it, obviously we have sales channels established in every capitalist market to ensure safety and quality and all those things. But again, I think part of these laws initially were to put the plant back in prison. They didn't free the plant. They didn't allow it to be grown freely and openly, and they still haven't done so under the new laws. And I think if you want to plant 4 plants in your backyard, or 6 plants in your backyard, or 8 plants in your backyard, it's your backyard. The government shouldn't give a shit unless you're harming someone else. And obviously we should all be conscious of our neighbors and shit like that. And if you're gonna grow weed, you should probably have things that take care of the smell, or not plant the skunkiest variety around so that you're pissing off everybody. But that's just common sense with anything, I think. And that's what we've lost a lot of as a society, is just giving each other the respect to be able to do what we want. We're supposed to live in a free country, and yet there's more and more laws placed upon us all the time. And that's what the Cannabis Act is. It's just more and more laws. It's not actually freeing the plant. And I want to see the plant be treated like tomatoes or wheat. And I think part of letting the farmers grow will commoditize the hell out of certain aspects of it. And we will see normalization and the stigma removed just through that. But yeah, if you want to pick a mushroom that you found in the forest and eat it, you should be able to do that too. If you want to bring that mushroom home and grow it because it's got pharmaceutical value, you should be able to do that too.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come down and chat with me today. I wish you all the best with everything that you got going on right now, and we'll link up, I'm sure, again in the future.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody liked Jesus. Everybody wanted to hang out with him. Anything he wanted to do, he did. He turned water into wine, and if he wanted to, he could have turned wheat into marijuana, or sugar into cocaine, or vitamin pills into amphetamines. He walked on the water and swam on the land. He would tell these stories, and people would listen. He was really cool. If you were blind or lame, you just went to Jesus, and he would put his hands on you, and you would be healed. That's so cool. He could have played guitar better than Hendrix. He could have told the future. He could have baked the most delicious cake in the world. He could have scored more goals than Wayne Gretzky. He could have danced better than Baryshnikov. Jesus could have been funnier than any comedian you can think of. Jesus was way cool. He told people to eat his body and drink his blood. That's so cool. Jesus was so cool. But then some people got jealous of how cool he was, so they killed him. But then he rose from the dead. He rose from the dead, danced around, and went up to heaven. I mean, that's so cool. Jesus was way cool. No wonder there are so many Christians.
Like a chint. Said, well, get up and go. Must have got up and went. Well, I got good news. She's a real good liar. Goes to the backstage, girl. You set your pants on fire. Just a little too far. You're telling other things, but your girlfriend lied. You can't catch me because the rabbit done died. I guess it did.
over to me. Get on top of me, woman. Get on top, let me breathe. Get on top of me, woman. Let me see what you learn tonight. When I'm talking tongues, mama. Oh, when I love you. Yes, I'm talking tongues. Oh, get on top of me, woman. Get on top, let me breathe. Get on top of me, woman, mama. I just wanna see what you learn now. Well, like a bitch dog in heat, mama, we had those bitch springs a-squeaking all night long. And didn't you hear those walls a-talking a voodoo song? I feel you right, feel you right, feel you right with me. Whoa, get on top of me, woman. Get on top, let me breathe. Get on top of me, woman, mama. Let me see what you done tonight. I'm talking tongues, honey. Ah, when you love me. I'm talking tongues, mama. Get on top of me, darling. 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 Darling, oh. I'm talking tongues, mama. When you love me, oh, when you love me, oh, I can't help but talking tongues. I'm talking tongues. I'm talking tongues, mama. Come on, can't stop my loving you. Oh, down, I'm on hear talking tongues. Get on top of Timothy. Get on top of me.
all gone now. It's all gone now. You see, I'm here. You're tired. Don't fear. Got every little thing that you want now. Got every little thing that you need now. You feel it now. You see
Now listen, yesterday I was just a little boy. Just a little boy. But today, look at me, y'all. I'm a man. Oh, yesterday, my friends, men were trying to build planes to fly. Oh, but today, it's just another thing. Oh, so we said that. Oh, just to say this, things are changing every day in every way. Can I say it again? All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Yesterday, I was just a little boy. Just a little boy. But today, look at me, y'all. I'm a man. Oh, yesterday, my friend, men were trying to build planes to fly. Ooh, but today, yeah, it's just everyday thing. Oh, so we said that. Oh, just to say this, things are changing every day in every way. People don't do like they used to do no more. Oh, no, no, no. People don't pray like they used to pray no more, y'all. No! Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ah, people don't do like they used to do no more. Oh, no, no, no. People don't pray like they used to pray no more, y'all. No! Well, well. Can't you see I'm changing? Every day there, every hour there, every minute there, every second there, everywhere there. Can't you see I'm changing? Oh, look at them changing. Everybody's changing. They're changing. Taxes going up. Wages are coming down now. Oh, look at them changing. Everybody's changing. Can't you see them changing? All over the world now. Look at them changing. Oh, changing.
I don't know what's next, and that's why I need to leave. I'm very busy trying to discover a new style.
Yeah, beats like this you just can't peep. It's a natural, international, not that same old shit. Get split in half, figuratively speaking, take a blood bath when I run past them C's. Rock the mic like the sun splash. It's in Jamaica, the heartbreaker lyrics like a stake through your left pectoral. Your shit is horrible, I'm clean like brand new momos on a Porsche, and your shit is sitting on rims. Let me begin to elaborate. Rings on his hands like each finger was Saturn, and the latest fashions, but the same patterns kept flashing up in his rap. Concerned with glamorous tales of fatalities like he was Tarantino. The analogy is we know that Quentin write fiction fantasies woven intricately while I'm predicting every motion. Them slight changes in your tone of voice is a toast to your parasitic choice of speak. Leaking cold blood out the arteries if you've been cut because we acidic. You can't configurate like the great hieroglyphics. Resistance we incinerate. Lit it up, now I'm finna cut. Peep the demonstration of uniqueness.
It could be fatal, wait till they'll come back out and act out emotions and
Don't you ever forget, it could be fatal, wait till Oak come back out and act out emotions in Oakland blackout.
Hurrah, here come Dell to dispel the blahs, cause and effect. Pause for respect collection. Diction, friction, depicting violence. Volatile with my profile like Molotov. MCs must be on autopilot. Waddle silent like some platypuses. Dell is down with data pushes with top secret floppy disk and battle armor and mecha. Plus all the rhymes that I beckon or double decker to check ya.
Electra, define laws of gravity. Avidly, rapidly firing lyrics, I'm shattering the abdominal cavity. Then I'm traveling out the spinal, finalizing your paralysis on the microphone. The catalyst is the capital L-I-N-D-S-C-Y. MCs try to test, but they mind gets blown.
Don't you ever forget, it could be fatal. Wait till they'll come back out and act out emotions and
Don't you ever forget, it could be fatal. Wait till Oak come back out and act out emotions in Oakland blackout.
Ain't no MC hurting me. Matter of fact, you work for me. Having stricken palladiums made me numb to anything you speak to desecrate the great hieroglyphics. And with it goes the flows that chop egos to segments. Behind the decimal points, I point backwards. Where you lack words, you toil but boil like coil clowns all around. Repelling, selling statues of whack fools. Statues for hieroglyphic travelers. Any lackluster MCs I mallet ya. Right on your cranium, crack it. Bust your teeth through your limbs, then tip you over. If you know of Dell, well then. I ill constantly with consonants, followed by nouns and make mounds of manuscripts to whip challengers. That ain't too talented. So before I reach my destination, let's waste some MCs for fun. I understand the fans' needs, so I feed them smorgasbords so they can gorge and MCs can gouge their eyes out from the tear gas emitted from my tongue, leaving fans sprung. And for the crews who high-strung, eat dung. They just gnats and ticks bugging me, hugging me nuts in a cuddly clutch. My hieroglyphic theory is validated by facts. Dilated the tracks so they wide and fat. Violated the whack, but colonized the wise words with more enzymes, 10 times nutritional. Unintentional, my flows just go there, yeah.
Don't you ever forget, it could be fatal. Wait till Oak come back out and act out emotions in Oakland
Don't you
blackout.
ever forget, it could be fatal. Wait till they'll come back out and act out emotions in Oakland
Don't you ever
blackout.
forget, it could be fatal. Wait till souls come back out and act out emotions in Oakland
Don't you
blackout.
ever forget, it could be fatal. Wait till come back out and act out emotions in
It could
Oakland
be
blackout.
fatal. Wait till Cash come back out and astound all
It could
you
be
MCs.
fatal. Wait till Kevin J. Bits come back out.
You know what I'm saying? Just wait.
sleep. Then just like a randy cat, into your bed I'll creep. Ooh, such a randy cat.
Nothing in my favor, got the wind in my face, I'm going home. Hey, 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 over the hill, over the hill. Hey, 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 over the hill. Just one place for a man to be when he's worried about his life. I'm going home. Hey, 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 over the hill. Over the hill. Hey, 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 over the hill. Well, I'm going away to leave you. I'm going to leave you in disgrace. Got nothing in my favor, rain in my face, I'm going home. Hey, 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 over the hill. Over the hill. Hey, 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 over the hill. Over the hill. Hey, 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 over the hill. Over the hill.
Good evening.
I was sitting there all by myself, listening to everybody saying, be like everybody else. Oh, you see, I gotta be me. It ain't nobody just like this. I got to be me. My baby hit or miss. I look at you sitting there, you're all by yourself. You're listening to everybody saying, be like everybody else. Don't you see? You gotta believe. There ain't nobody just like this. You got to believe. A baby hit or miss. By myself, listening to everybody saying, be like everybody else. I gotta be me. It ain't nobody like this. I got to be me. A baby hit or miss.
Jules. Favorite actor, Dennehy. Favorite drink, Old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Say goodbye a little longer like I ate a piece of Big Red. Grew a mustache the size of Mike Dicker's forehead. Hair comb to the side, looking like a piece of foam. Buick speakers, red cooler. 85 Bear Zubas, Polish sausage, bratwurst. Walking like my cockers. Stacey Adams, no shirt. Jules to get a case of squirt. Wife's pissed cause I forgot to get the minute rice. So I'm back in the damn Buick to get a stinking bag of ice. To get a stinking bag of rice. My wife Jules is cute. Her taste really moved me like I ate juicy fruit. Had me dancing like Chris Penn and Footloose. 85 Walter Ruse, old style pack of coos. Go to A, Snow Tolls and Weed Whacker fuel. 85 Bear Zubas, Stacey Adams got ruined. For the basement sump pump, shop vac, clean up. Cook brats, cook chops, your heat shouldn't be that hot. Keep your juices in the chops, keep your juices in the brats. Serve them on paper plates, tater salad and grape pop. My favorite actor was Dennehy long before he played night. When Behringer was a substitute, everything was going right. Even after Jordan left, and Dave Corzine retired. Sean Dunstan's wild throws and Mike Ditka got fired. Favorite actor Dennehy, favorite drink Old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Play softball with the guys. Wife made curly fries. Drank about 4 doles. Grounded out 2-5 flies. In the Buick down Western. Stop and get some more brats. On sale chicken, Italian sausage and orange pop. This week fishing trip. Gotta get some new flies. Wife packed turkey subs, Jay's chips and peach pies. Watch a little Dennehy. Pull out the laser disc. Sniper 1, 2, and 3. Behringer makes great flicks. Listen to the shuffle. Rewind Richard Ditt's part. Damn, I left those orange pops in the trunk of the Skylark. Sneak a couple old doles. Shit, there's my damn wife. You know, honey, I'll be back. I gotta get some more ice. Back in the damn Buick. I should go to the damn bar. I saw Ditka once in the Eatons in a sports car. Favorite actor Dennehy. Favorite drink Old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Play a little poker. Spend time with the wife. Take her out to Bennigan's. See if they cook chops right. Go and get a laser disc. Projection screen TV. Portillo's Italian beef and a movie starring Tommy B. Back in the damn Buick. Cut on WCKG. Caught a song by Glenn Fry and an interview with Dennehy. So I'm driving down Western Ave. Think I'm gonna stop at Zayre's. Got a splitting freaking headache, so I popped a couple bears. So I'm back in the damn Buick. Think I need an oil check. The baddest of George Thorogood smoke stoves on my deck. Read the sports section. Bears and their O-line. Trying to find a decent Fiero with a for sale sign. Cut on WCKG. Huey Lewis and the news. The heart of rock and roll is still beating. Bears lose. Favorite actor Dennehy. Favorite drink Old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Favorite day Sunday. Favorite team the Bears. Favorite store Ventures. Sayers. Favorite show Danza. Also the news. Weatherman Skilling. Music the Blues. Favorite actor Dennehy. Favorite drink Old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. If I was coach of the Bears, we'd at least get 10 wins. 10 wins. Dennehy on the O-line, Behringer at tight end. Behringer favorite actor Dennehy, favorite drink Old Doles. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Favorite actor Farina, Bandra, tons, brats, chops, dogs, they're done. Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Favorite actor Farina, dandruff, tons, brats, chops, dogs, they're done. Favorite coach Ditka, vacation place Wisconsin, sausage.
Sweden. passing me by. The buses and semis, plunging like stones from a slingshot on Mars. But I'm here by the road, bound to the load that I picked up in 10,000 cafes and bars. Alone with the rush of the drivers that won't pick me up. The highway, the moon, the clouds, the stars. The black-throated wind keeps on pouring in with its words of a life where nothing is new. Ah, Mother American, now I'm lost from the light. How I'm drowning in. I left St. Louis, the city of blues. In the midst of the storm, I'd rather forget. I've tried to pretend it came to an end. 'Cause you weren't the woman I once thought I'd met. But I can't deny, oh, times have gone by when I never had doubts or thoughts of regret. And I was a man when all this began, who wouldn't think twice about being there yet. The black-throated wind whispering sin, then speaking of life that passes like dew. It's forced me to see you've done better by me than I've done by you. Now what's to be found from racing around? You carry your pain wherever you go, full of the blues and trying to lose. You ain't gonna learn what you don't wanna know. So I give you my eyes and all of their lies.
So, Mr. Perry.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What were the skies like when you were young?
With white clouds. Sometimes you have golden clouds. Blue space, white clouds. Sometimes we got golden clouds. Sometimes we got rain, sometimes we got a rainbow. Shining sun. This grass where we build the clash. And this grass where we build the punk. Return to rebuild the monk. And say to the funk, I funk out the funk. And I cast out the punk. Cast out the junk. Then I threaten the monk. Monk be monk. Funk be funk. And punk be punk. And junk be junk. We don't want no junkie. Give us the monkey. We don't want no junkie. Give us the animal. Give us the lion. Give us the lion. Give us the lion. Give us the jungle. Give us the trees, the breeze, the trees, the breeze, the trees, the rain and the thunder from the jungle. Ooh yeah, God save the King of Kings. Ooh yeah, God save the King of the Kings. Ooh yeah, God slew the Queen. Ooh yeah, God slew the Prince. God slew the Princess of Darkness. Blue space, white clouds. Sometimes we got golden clouds. Sometimes we got a rain, sometimes we got a rainbow. Welcome to the blazing sun. Standing in Babylon. Is it to Babylon or you a Babylon? Babylon, me know you're Babylon. But Babylon, you can't rob my plan. And Babylon, you can't grab my plan. And Babylon, you can't touch my man, for I am the man of the man. With the arms. See it and hear it, smell it and taste. Blue space, white clouds. And I have golden clouds with white clouds. Sometimes we got golden clouds. Sometimes we got a rain, sometimes we got a rainbow. Shining sun. God is great and God is great. And to no man God don't subordinate. Well done, well done. Welcome, 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 welcome. Well done, well done. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the blazing sun. Sometimes we got golden clouds.
Something we gotta rain, something we gotta rainbow. Blue space. Welcome to the blazing sun. I'm a arm connect. Shazam connect. And Pazam connect.
Sunday morning, shadows on the shade. Yellow dusted fingers bent through day-old lemonade. Sounds of breathing, the birds singing in the trees. Beautiful morning, there's no place I'd rather be. quiet down and I rest a while by a shady tree. Golden robes of summer stretched as far as I could see. Sounds of music are rippling through my head. Hammy's in the kitchen, the captain's still in bed. 'Cause life is just a funny dream, and someday I'll share this dream with you. Just to be with you, this much I pray. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. Life is just a funny dream, and someday I'll share this dream with you. Just to be with you, this much I pray. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true.
You think if you pray, something will answer your prayer. You know you do. Well, you might pray now on to 20 years. Oh, yeah. And all you'll get is just 20 years older. You know you will. By then your burden will be too much for your shoulder. In reality, will cause your fantasies to die. Cause your fantasy to die, die, die. Oh, why? Reality will cause your fantasies to die. Cause your fantasy to die, die, die. Oh, why? Yes, you were brought up in the Christmas spirit. You know you were. You couldn't hardly wait for the days to near it. Oh, yeah. You think your country is a great democracy. You know you do. Well, they just killed your priest for helping folks like me. And reality will cause your fantasies to die. Cause your fantasy to die, die, die. Oh, why?
sunset coming on, sunset coming on. Oh Lord, but the sunrise we'll see, but the sunrise we'll see again. Oh, sunset coming on, sunset coming on. Oh Lord, but the sunrise we'll see, but the sunrise we'll see again. Oh, waking up, it's been too long. Feel the warmth of the sun on my face. Turn to face where I've been going wrong. This road goes on and on. Sunset coming on, sunset coming on. Oh Lord, but the sunrise we'll see, but the sunrise we'll see again. Sunset coming on, sunset coming on. Oh Lord, but the sunrise we'll see, but the sunrise we'll see again. Sunset coming on, sunset coming on. Oh Lord, but the sunrise we'll see.